How to beat the system? That's a good question. I'll tell you steps how to beat the system and not depend on the grid. If the people in Texas would have followed some of the things I'm going to tell you, it would have helped. But really, how to beat the system is to grow your own food. If you live in an apartment, put you a windowsill box and grow you some food. Now, I suspect after what happened in Texas that our electricity, the price of our electricity, well, a lot of things is causing this. I'm not going to go political. But our electricity bills are fixing to be really high. Well, yours is anyhow. I don't have one, and I'll tell you why. How you beat the system is you get some solar panels. Generate your own electricity. Grow your own food. You know, and I know it may be really hard for a lot of people. Get rid of that dish TV. Get rid of that cable TV. You know, that's $100 a month, man. And if you generate your own electricity and you grow your own food, and if you can, pay cash for everything. That way you're beating the system because you're not paying interest. Find you a piece of property out in the woods somewhere where there's not all kind of restrictions, where you can have you some chickens, raise your own chickens, raise your own hogs, whatever kind of animals you want to raise. That's how you beat the system. And not just beat the system, how you don't have to rely on the system. Like, for instance, I'm sure that I probably could get food stamps, you know, because my businesses are hurting right now. That COVID really did a number on I have 2 businesses. It literally closed my school because the gym I was training out of, they're forever out of business, so I have to find me a new spot to run my school. And I do have a security business, which is mostly bouncers, and people are just not going to the bars like they used to. I suspect because they can't afford to. Nevertheless, how to beat the system: make your own electricity, grow your own food, raise your own livestock, become independent. Like I said, I could get food stamps right now, but I choose not to because that's a trap. Now, if you're getting food stamps, hey, more power to you. I'm not judging you. But for me, the moment that I was to go down and get food stamps, well, then I would stop hunting, because why would I have to? I would stop fishing. I wouldn't have to grow my own food. The thing is, you know, that's how people get trapped. They get so used to having that taken care of that they forget how to do it for themselves. You know, I mean, my hunting, I'm on top of my hunting, because if I don't bring home no meat, I will eat beans and rice if I don't get nothing, and I will get something out of my garden because that doesn't run from me. But I do like to eat meat. And so you know, it keeps me on my game. You know, my hunting skills are on point. My trapping skills, my fishing skills, running a trout line, throwing a cast net. That's how I beat the system. You know, there's no taxes on that. When I make my own electricity, that light right now, this phone right now is running off what I produce with my solar panels. So I'm not having to, if the power was to go out right now, if a hurricane was to come through, whatever, I'm the only one around with electricity. All my lights outside, they're solar. Everything is solar. I have the littlest refrigerator they make. Because, I mean, I'll show you. It's a very small refrigerator. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry guys if you can't. But it's the smallest one they make. A couple of reasons. You know, you're like, man, what do you do with all that meat? I don't rely on refrigeration. When I get more meat I can handle, there's a couple of things I do. The first thing I do is find somebody that don't have none, and I give them some food. The second thing I do is I will salt and slowly smoke that meat so it lasts. The third thing I'll do is jerky it. Put it in my dehydrator, which uses very little electricity, and turn it into jerky. And you're like, well, dang on, you ain't got a whole lot of teeth. How you chew that jerky up? Well, when I want to flavor some rice, I will put that jerky in there with that rice and cook it. And that moisture gets in that meat and softens it up again. That's how you beat the system. And if you have any ideas, because my channel, I love to have interaction. You know, this is not your typical YouTube channel. You know, I highly recommend leave comments, chat with each other, because I read every bit of that. And you know, I can learn too. You know, there's things you guys can teach me. I'm a survivalist. You know, I've been that way before I ever even heard of prepping. Okay, my prep is a 5-gallon bucket of beans and a 5-gallon bucket of rice, because I live in a tiny home. I don't have much storage room. If I had a big home, of course I would have more stuff. Man, then I'd have that big old mortgage and paying on that for 30 years. That's just not my thing. You know, my house is paid for. I don't have a house payment. And that is a big burden off me. I'm not going to go down and buy. And it don't hardly take anything to heat or cool this small space. If I have to replace my roof, I can do it in an hour. Because it's a very small, I live in a tight, small, tiny home. You know, and if you want to talk about going green, well, I'm not hardly leaving no carbon footprint, because I live in a tiny home. I'm not using hardly any electricity. So, you know, that's just the way to beat the system, is produce as much of your own stuff as you can. Find you side hustles where you get paid cash. You know, things like that. And please, if you got a good side hustle, please leave that in the comments so I can read it, and the rest of the prepper community that is on here can read it. No, and I ask, please subscribe to this channel. I need subscribers. It gets more out there. This channel is to help people. When I get monetized, because I already, you know, any extra I have, I help people with. And if I get blessed and get monetized, which I don't need that many more subscribers, I'm going to use that money to help the homeless, And everybody counts, especially PTSD homeless people. That's my target group, is people with PTSD that are homeless, because I've been there. That's who I want to help. And of course, children. I want to help everyone. You know, you got to pick. But that's how you beat the system. So please subscribe. Please hit that like button. Leave a comment. This is y'all American Prepper. Have a blessed day, and thank you.